I wish I knew that answer. Every community around here is running into the same issue with the volunteers and POCs. People are working out of town. There's also industries or facilities in the community that does have some of our members on it, or probably on other communities, and they don't allow their members to leave work to go to the fire call.
I think everybody's always looking for new ideas, pay incentive. One size does not fit all. And I say that because you have some departments that are combination departments where you have paid full-time members and then you have volunteers. Sometimes that can cause some issues. I'm getting paid this much and he's getting paid that much to do the job. That's something we always have to fight through, but we're always looking for ways and revenue sources to try to attract and to maintain or retain volunteers.
It's a struggle because I don't care if it's this service or if it's any other organization. Volunteerism in general is not what it used to be. So yeah, I mean we're more of a headline thing because we're an emergency services provider. Everybody else is too, but that's why we're more of a headline thing. And people depend on the emergency services more in a time of need than the other organization.
And when someone needs us, they always think it took us too long, no matter who it is. I mean, not just us, and I say us, I mean the whole emergency services. You know, they think that the space age is here and they're just going to beam a fire truck to their front of their house or an ambulance.
Right.
Firefighting is a very dangerous job and a very stressful job, but it's a very rewarding job also. When a call goes good and you know you made a difference in somebody's lives on their worst day and you had a part of helping them make it better, that's the most rewarding part of being a firefighter. I mean, we're not doing this for the money. We're doing this because we love to help people in the time of need.
The call volume here in Putnam County is reasonably low compared to others. Doesn't mean you can't have a major fire in the middle of the daytime. You still can. To try to put paid personnel in here at this time, I don't see where the money is to do that. That would take quite a joint effort of a lot of different fire protection districts, and that would be a huge task, and someday in the future it might have to happen. But for now, I guess we cross our fingers and rely on our box cards, rely on our neighbors to help us like we will help them.
We have a cadet program that I actually started when I was 16. That we get them in at 16, get them trained, and we allow them to respond to calls. So we kind of mentor these young kids into firefighters, but the problem is they either go away to college or they get married and move away, or just life catches up on them, you know. It's tough sometimes, you know, when they get married and they start having kids, it's you know, they can't spend as much time at the fire station like they used to.
One of the things that the community LP I think is focusing on, for 6 years now they've had the area career center for fire and EMR. Luckily I've been part of that. I feel privileged to be part of that. And that gets us some young people. Problem is it's hard for departments to keep them because they are 18 years old. They want to do something, but when they get to be in their 20s, they move on to bigger and better.
With my daughter being 18, I tried to get her to join the fire department when she was 16. And her answer was absolutely not, because that fire department's ruined a lot of good times in my life for you always leaving sporting events, dinners, taking them along on fire calls. It's tough.
We're okay on numbers right now, but we always need, I mean, our average age is getting up there, and we can always use new younger members because they're the next generation is going to have to assume this responsibility, but they've got to get orientated to it. They've got to continue to get trained and assume the leadership.
realistically, a lot of them can't leave their jobs, and if they do, they lose pay. So we need to try to make it worth their while to do that, but we're also restrained with budgetary issues, as is every community, especially in Illinois.
Training wise, that's never going to change. I mean, they're going to throw more and more training on us, and probably down the line there'll be recertifications also. All we can do is keep going out there and asking for help and assistance and see where we can go.
If anybody's ever been considering maybe joining a fire department, and I'm talking any fire department, Spring Valley, Peru, LaSalle, Oaksby, Utica, Ladd, Depew, Seatonville, any town, if you're thinking about it, why don't you stop by the firehouse and talk to these firefighters or talk to the chief. Every fire department is looking for more personnel.
And most of our calls might last 15 minutes to a half hour. Obviously, the actual bigger fires or accidents or stuff on the interstate are a little bit longer than that, but the pay's pretty good. And so I encourage everybody. It's kind of a nice group. It's a good group to belong to. We do a lot of other things, a lot of public safety, a lot of public education type things out working in the community. So it is fulfilling, and we invite people to apply.
I think it's one of the most rewarding opportunities you'll ever have in your life. Volunteering your time to help somebody in a time of need. There's good stuff and there's bad stuff. There's stuff you don't want to see and there's stuff that you don't want to talk about. But we make a difference. And when something goes bad and they don't know who to call, they're going to call the fire department. And somehow we're going to figure out a solution or an answer that helps solve your issue.